to another episode of UAE Hustlers with me, Sparsh Kumar. In today's episode, we'll be talking about a very popular community here in the UAE. Especially in the recent past, it has gained a wave of popularity and visibility. I'm talking about MMA or mixed martial arts. So in today's podcast, we will talk about what MMA is, why is it so popular, is it for everybody or not, and various other aspects of this field. Now, the person who's going to join me in today's conversation is a very prominent and well-respected individual by many of us in this field. He is one of the individuals who really made me realize that not all fighters are barbarians, contrary to popular belief, but actually they're just big teddy bears in killer bodies. And if anything else, they are some of the sweetest, kindest, and gentle souls you will ever meet. So please join me in welcoming Alex Lelico Nacfur. Welcome to the podcast, Alex. Thank you so much for taking out the time.
Sparsh, thank you for inviting me.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm perfect. I'm golden, as they say. I'm golden.
Well, it's your birthday. It's your birthday week, so happy birthday again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So what you turned, 25?
Each leg, 25 each leg.
What matters is your age in terms of your soul. Your soul is 25, so it's...
Absolutely. I'm still a kid, even though I don't recognize myself in my age anymore.
Oh, yeah,
that's
that
concerning, though. I need to evolve. I need to get to mature.
To mature? I don't think that's going to happen, but... But, okay, so before we start talking about the MMA community in UAE and all the communities you've built, I want to know a little bit about you, Alex. Like, how did you discover martial arts? What made you want to choose that as your life path, you know?
All right, Sparsh. I believe we already went through this, you and me, in our friendly conversations we had. It's a family thing for us, isn't it? I think my grandfather, my mother's father, he was into jiu-jitsu back in the 50s and 60s in Rio de Janeiro. My father liked judo a lot. My older brother is a judo guy from the beginning, since his very young age. So judo was a normal thing for me, you know. I mean, I grew up watching it and liking it a lot. Many of my friends, they were into judo because in Brazil, at least back in my days, jiu-jitsu wasn't very common for kids, all right? Okay. So the first thing we'd do would be judo, karate. Judo is still Olympic sport. So we track all the attention. So for me, judo was the first thing that I see in terms of martial arts, and the first thing that I enjoyed doing it.
Okay. And what are the other martial arts that you specialize in? There are quite a few. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was just a crazy pattern, you know. I started with judo, and then I went to capoeira. Before jiu-jitsu, I went to capoeira. Again, very influenced by my friends in my neighborhood and my people, you know, people close to me. So I started capoeira for a while, and then when jiu-jitsu became a big thing in Brazil, especially my city, my region in Brasilia, so then I started jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
It's 1991.
Okay.
And so simultaneously I was doing judo and judo and capoeira.
Okay.
And then when I started jiu-jitsu, I quit capoeira.
Okay.
And then there's just judo and jiu-jitsu simultaneously. And then later, because the interest of MMA, I started doing striking. I went boxing first with a Cuban coach called Alexei, and then Muay Thai with Rodrigo Aguiar, Diguinho, a very close friend of mine. And then from there, kickboxing and other things.
So that's judo, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing.
Yeah. But to
be honest, is there anything left?
what I did actually, what I really committed to it was judo and jiu-jitsu and striking overall. When MMA took over, I mean, you know what I mean? It's mixed martial arts, so you're just mixing everything together. And then that's when I start understanding and admiring striking a little bit more.
Okay.
It took a little time for me to get into it properly, but yeah.
What's your personal favorite?
Judo by far.
Judo by far.
By far. It's Olympic sport, and I mean the foundation, the base of judo is amazing, and the respect we have in the dojo is completely. I mean, I love jiu-jitsu. Don't get me wrong. I keep saying that. People keep bashing me and get mad at me. Jiu-jitsu came as a very, how can I say, messy type of martial arts. You know what I mean? The jiu-jitsu was when we first started, was actually to try ourselves. I'm sorry to say that, I'm going to be honest here, on the streets. I mean, that's the main reason. You know, we did it because we wanted to fight, to test ourselves on the streets, because there's no other way to compete. There's no platforms to show us. There's not a lot of MMA events back then. Actually, it was Vale Tudo back then. So jiu-jitsu was that thing, like street thing. Okay, man, I'm better than you because I know grappling and all that. In judo, there's no such a thing. It's Olympic sport. So the whole discipline and respecting the sport and the whole structure behind judo, in Brazil at least, it's huge. I say that before. Judo in Brazil is the second sport with more Olympic medals.
Oh, wow.
He only loses to sailing. Can you imagine? In Brazil.
Wow.
Yeah, so judo is massive in Brazil, and there's a lot of respect involved, a lot of amazing fighters. Historically, we've been performing well in the big stages. So yeah, judo is my first one by far. I love jiu-jitsu though, but judo is my preferred one.
Okay. And Alex, you've had a career in fighting as well, right? Could you take us a little through that? What made you get into it? A little about your fighting career.
But I think I was good in judo, to be honest. I think I could have achieved more, but my experience in judo was very short. Because when I was 20, there was the Olympic Games in Athens, and I knew I couldn't make it, so I decided to quit. And then I focused on jiu-jitsu and MMA because it was the new thing coming.
Right.
So I competed in judo first, and then jiu-jitsu, and then MMA. And in between, I had some boxing amateur fights, not even amateur fights, boxing, backyard fights, and kickboxing. And I had capoeira combat fights as well. Okay. Actually, I'm going to show you a few videos because I have in my phone. I'll show you later.
Okay.
Yeah, so fighting, I went around different styles so I could actually build myself as a fighter and decide what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, first was judo and then jiu-jitsu and then a little few striking disciplines here and there. Okay. And then totally committed to MMA around 1997. That's when I started fighting MMA, mixed martial arts, which back in the days used to be called Vale Tudo.
Okay.
My first Vale Tudo fight was 1997. I was 20. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And in this process, you also became a dad. Do you think that had any sort of impact as a fighter? Did you feel a little, not scared, but you were more careful in the ring than before? Or didn't really matter for you personally?
I don't think so, Sparsh, to be honest. I have a very, very interesting story, right? Nai was 2 months old. Nai was born in October 2000, right? And I fought on December 31st, 2000. The last day of the year, I fought an amateur event in Hawaii. And the fact that I was born just motivated me even more.
Oh.
You know? I never went to that side. I got scared and afraid, and many times in fighting, not only MMA.
Okay.
But I don't think that the fatherhood changed anything in my mind.
If anything, it made
now that Niall is an adult and he's fighting.
Yeah.
Now I can see that. Wow, listen, I don't want to see my son getting hurt and all that. Now affects me more, but me as a fighter, I don't think there's any
really
influence. No.
Okay.
It was all the same, yeah.
Okay. And so you've moved around a little bit besides Brazil as well, right, Alex?
Yeah.
So what made you come to UAE of all the places? And how long ago was that?
All right, that's actually a nice story. I was working as I was fighting as a fighter, and I was also head coaching few students, all right, few fighters. We have our team in Brazil called Constrictor Team. Okay. And our main coach, our head coach is Junior, Atai Junior, my master and friend and older brother per se. But you know how it is in teams, in MMA teams, usually we have 2, 3, 4 different camps inside the same team, right? Because Junior is busy teaching or coaching some students, and then there are another student that needs some attention. Then I was the second in charge. Okay. So I was taking over those camps. Okay. So there's one particular student called Adriano Moraes. He was the one championship world champion. Great, amazing friend, an amazing person, amazing fighter. So I was coaching, I was cornering Adriano in one championship, and most of the fights was in Asia. Most of the fights, and I came to Singapore a couple of times, and then Malaysia, Jakarta, Indonesia, and there's one. And Fifth Republic was about to open back in 2014. Okay, and I came to UFC Abu Dhabi in 2013, cornering another student called Ronnie Yahya, UFC fighter. Nice. And through connections, friends that I know, and they knew someone from Fifth Republic, my name came up. And then one guy reached out to a friend of mine in Brazil called Lula, and Lula gave my name out. Said, listen, I have this guy. They were looking for someone to be the head of martial arts in Fifth Republic. So Lula gave my name. So I went through a selection, a couple interviews, and they hired me. But I was visible because I was working with these amazing fighters. They gave me that, that platform to show myself. Okay. So Fitter people reach out. They need someone who could speak English and some background in martial arts overall. And I think I fit in the role perfectly, to be honest. And there was many other guys with the same potential, even better than me. But I don't know, it was just an energy thing. I just hit it off from the beginning with the whole management team.
Yeah,
and then became
it's
what became.
Alex charm.
Yeah. Not even that. They have the charm. We're just too tight. And we became together, became friends so fast that I knew there was no other way. Let's stay here. Okay. There's one thing though. When I first came, no promises, but I was told that I would work and manage a professional team as well, right? Because I was totally involved with professional Correct. MMA back then. I wasn't doing any other thing in my life. And when I came here, I actually ended up working a very, very commercial gym, one of a kind. Fitterpurk was the first in UAE to do what they did. Yeah. And I ended up being the head of martial arts, and it was a totally commercial program. We're never able to, to escalate that to the professional level. And that's one thing that I don't regret, but I feel that I wish I could have done differently. You know what I mean? Okay. So being 10 years, I'm in UAE, and I never work with professionals anymore. I corner a few friends here and there. Some of my Brazilian students, the first 3 or 4 years I was in Dubai, I still went there. But yeah, I step away from the professional side.
And we actually lucked out from that, so it's okay.
You hurt me a little bit, but it's okay. Sorry.
No problem. And so besides Fit Republic, you've moved to other gyms as well, developed other communities and other gyms. And Alex, you've been here for 10 years. What is your take on this growth that you have seen, especially in the MMA field in this 10 years in UAE?
To be honest, UAE is a bit behind, isn't it? If you compare with the MMA growth around the world, Europe was the last thing to come, was Europe. Before was Brazil first, and then Japan and US. And in Europe is slowly with UK coming up and some other small countries in Europe, and Holland with the kickboxing. That's the fighting culture in Europe. Yeah. But UAE was mainly jiu-jitsu, isn't it? Mainly jiu-jitsu. I knew that deep down there was small MMA teams training around and kind of developing their games and all that. But now I believe it's mostly because of the success of the Dagestani guys, the Muslims, Dagestani fighters. It just became huge. Okay. And it's the normal development, because mixed martial arts, MMA, it is the fastest growing sport in the world. And it's been like that for a long while. I just think UAE took a bit more time than it should. But the way it is right now, we have a lot of great fighters around here, and there's a crazy community, because we have the Russians in one place, and have the Arabs in one place, and then Brazilians in another place, and the Europeans moving all around. So yeah, it's crazy how it grew in the last maybe 5 years, but still needs more structure. Okay. Still needs more structure, especially if the local fighters and people that live and train around here, they want to reach the highest level. It needs a little bit more structure. Less talking, less showing off, and more structure. Less focus on training. I don't know, develop yourselves as coaches and fighters. Yeah. And get ready to achieve more.
Right. And what do you think is the most popular form of martial arts here?
In UAE?
Yeah, in UAE.
Especially from your experience, what I work here and what I learned was kickboxing by far. Juniors and adults, at least in the gyms, the clubs that I worked, kickbox was always kickboxing, Muay Thai. I could say that. Strike in general, but yeah, punch and kicking. So kickboxing, Muay Thai, they lead. They have more. Even though jiu-jitsu is the main sport, the national sport, I believe when it comes to the commercial side, and people that do not know martial arts, I believe kickboxing and Muay Thai, they lead. They lead the market around here.
Okay, I was just going to ask you.
Boxing, very, very, very close, but boxing is more. It's an Olympic sport, you know what I mean? It's harder. Training sessions are harder, and I believe for people that know martial arts, they know what they want. Yeah, boxing is still a little bit ahead of jiu-jitsu. Okay, but kickboxing for the ones that don't know what they want, they don't know martial arts, they have no knowledge, previous knowledge, kickboxing is the first option. Okay, so you would say as a newbie to martial arts, if anybody wants to just try it, kickboxing, Muay Thai would be the first sort of, depends upon the person, the person and the personal preference, but kickboxing, Muay Thai would be easier to be consistent at and start with, would you say? I think there's the whole aspect of full body things. There's this coordination, hands, legs.
Yeah.
It's a tougher sport because you get kicked a lot, you get punched a lot. Yeah, it's a bit different, but still, I think that's if I could refer a sport or a discipline, a martial arts discipline, now I think I'd go with kickboxing.
Okay.
Maybe karate. I know this is going to be very controversial and polemic, but I believe karate is a good foundation for adults and kids, 100% sure. For kids, even better, but even adults, if you don't want to be a fighter, just want to learn the skills, learn how to punch and kick, have balance, and be strong and nice core and all that.
Yeah.
I believe karate is actually a good option.
Okay.
Jiu-jitsu is very specific, very unique. So jiu-jitsu, a person that don't know what it is, they're gonna sit and say, what is this? They're not gonna fall in love at the first sight. Yeah, exactly. They're not gonna fall in love in the first sight. So they need time to get used to the game, because it's really different.
Yeah.
I think jiu-jitsu is the one that hooks you up, you know what I mean? That gets your attention. Okay, once you start jiu-jitsu, if you really like it, and it hits you differently. You know what I mean? People we keep saying that all the time, jiu-jitsu is like a cult in Dubai. People get so addicted to it. Kickboxing sometimes, and I see that people, they start, and with the time they just get bored out of it, and then they quit. Jiu-jitsu is no such a thing. You just keep going. Right. Jiu-jitsu catches you more, you know what I mean? Keeps you in the game. And kickboxing is usually the first one you go and get used to the training, to the stamina, to getting hit, and to actually fighting. And then you can go to others, but I think kickboxing the first, boxing maybe, and then jiu-jitsu a little bit behind.
Okay.
I might be wrong. That's my experience.
That's what we're here to see. What's your experience? What's your feedback from what you have seen here so far? And Alex, nowadays, especially here, Dubai, there are so many MMA coaches. How can you say, or how do you tell apart a good MMA coach from just one of those Instagram MMA coaches?
You mean MMA? You mean martial arts in general?
Martial arts in general.
MMA, okay.
Yeah. If somebody wants,
I think straightforward. We live in this era now of the social media thing. It's so easy to promote yourself without having any accolades or accomplishing anything. So if you want to really dive into the martial arts world, I think you should just go for deep research. You know what I mean? Check this guy's profiles, and maybe going to find some mutual friends that you can ask them around. Say, listen, do you know this guy? What he does? If you're teaching martial arts, in my understanding, right? I'm going to be myself again.
Of course. You
should be a fighter. You know what I mean? You should have fought before. It's hard to trust someone that teaches martial arts and never fought before in all aspects. Could be jiu-jitsu, could be judo, could be karate, could be kickboxing, could be boxing.
Yeah.
How are you going to dedicate your time, give your time out and your kids, just whatever, to someone that, you know what I mean, never had the experience? Okay, he's a coach. And being a coach is not enough anymore, you know what I mean? So if you wanna find a good coach, first, check the background, check where they're coming from. They're bringing in the martial arts world. And don't be afraid of asking. Just go and ask, listen, what have you done? What have you achieved? Yeah. If they get defensive, and that's the first red flag. Yeah. It shouldn't be a coach, isn't it? They should be able to tell you, listen, I've done this and that. Yeah. I haven't achieved much, but I achieved. And I'm still developing as a coach, as whatever. Just go deep in researching, and don't be afraid to ask around your friends and your coach's friends, because nowadays, exactly what you said, there's a lot of fake ones. There's a lot of not very competent ones that they play themselves as huge hits, but they're not. Yeah, we know that. So just go through a very deep research, and don't be afraid to ask around about those guys that you wanna train.
Okay, noted.
Yeah,
there are some popular myths around MMA. So I want your take on a few of those things, okay? There is one where they say that MMA fighters are not intellectual or smart. What do you think about that?
Makes no sense, isn't it? I don't think it makes any sense. I know many. I have many friends, black belts in Brazil. The lawyers, everything, politicians, and doctors, and I mean all types of entrepreneurs, all types of people with doing martial arts in general. I think it's a myth, and it's nothing to do with the reality, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's such a huge thing in the world. You're gonna have all types of people, isn't it? You're gonna have
100%.
the dumb one. You're gonna have the very smart one. Everybody live in the same environment, which is beautiful.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Everybody can get along and live together independently. What your background is academically, whatever. Oh, that's a myth, 100% sure. I mean, there's the hit in the head. I mean, it doesn't mean you're not intellectual. You're dumb. You might get dumb later, but you're not dumb when you start, isn't it? Makes sense.
Another one. Mixed martial arts is not recommended for kids at all. Do you think it's good for kids to engage in a form of martial arts from a young age? Or do you think it's true that kids should just stay away from any
martial arts? Or
kickboxing
MMA again? No, martial arts, 100% sure. 100% sure. I keep saying that, again, there's another polemic subject. I keep saying that once you start martial arts, you're not the same anymore, right?
Yes.
As a kid. I went through a lot of bullying in my life back in the days, which was great for me. I don't know why people are so afraid of bullying nowadays. That was amazing for us all. Make us better, stronger, tougher. You know what I mean? Nothing major, but yeah, it toughened us up a little bit. But the fact that you're training, you come into a gym, and I mean, you're there dealing with other people, when your kids are around, and if you want your son to learn something that's gonna make him, again, not better, but tougher in life, or learn respect and discipline, all those things that we've heard 100 times, discipline, respect, and this and that. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. If you engage in martial arts as a kid, as a young kid, you're gonna learn how to respect your coaches, your partners, your training partners. It is a different thing, right? Same way, if you learn music, if you learn anything, you're not the same anymore. Yeah. But the martial arts aspect goes back to the whole one-on-one. You know what I mean? If you have knowledge as a kid, imagine a 10-year-old kid, 8-year-old kid that goes to school and knows a little bit of jiu-jitsu, knows a little bit of judo, know how to take people down and pin them down on the floor. Or he's been doing kickboxing, knows how to kick someone on the leg or punch on the stomach or a nice punch on the face. Yeah. I mean, you're not the same anymore. If someone comes to you and call you a bunch of names and try to bully you, if you don't know what you're going to do, you're probably going to cry and turn your back away. But if you know how to react, you're probably going to react.
Yeah.
So yeah, I advise all parents to put kids in martial arts, 100% sure. The goal is never fighting. The goal is never, being aggressive or actually confronting someone. The goal is just to be self-aware of your values and what you can do. You know what I mean? And be able to protect your own, the loved ones, and protect yourself.
And I also feel with martial arts, it gives you a great sense of confidence as well. Especially, I'm saying this from personal experience. I mean, I've had confidence, but the kind of confidence I gained after doing Muay Thai and kickboxing is indescribable, Alex. It's knowing that I can take care of myself if I'm ever in a compromising situation. I'm not saying I can take down a 200-pound guy, but I know that I can create that space to get away from that situation.
100%.
You know, and I think that's an amazing thing that I took away from.
Yeah, that's the self-defense aspect of martial arts, isn't it? That's exactly what self-defense is. Yeah. Self-defense is you acquire the skill and you be able to use it without damage or harming someone. You know what I mean? So you avoid confrontation. But if it gets to that point of someone wants to go to the ultimate level again, they want to touch you, they want to harm you, you know how to defend yourself. Exactly what you say. You don't need to hurt no one.
Correct.
There's a whole discrepancy between men and women in power and weight and all that. But you, with your knowledge, for example, you have the knowledge that you need to be able to de-escalate the situation and leave harmless without any damage. 100% sure. And besides running super fast, nothing else gives you that, isn't it? Besides running, I just that's a martial art thing. That's a self-defense thing. You learn. Yeah. You learn the skill. There's the mindset aspect as well. You feel comfortable with it. Yeah. You trust on the techniques you learn. Yeah. And then you just need to put in practice. And that's what self-defense does. Yeah. True. You need to punch someone. Just need to avoid being punched. That's what it is.
That is true. Alex, you have set up so many different communities and so many different gyms. There's so many people who have learned so much from you. What's next for Alex Nacfur?
I have some things that I'm cooking. I don't want to disclose that right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, as 10 years in UAE, right? And working in big clubs, in 3 different big clubs, and a lot of knowledge. I learned so much. I'm very thankful for the people that I work with. Very, very thankful and grateful for the students that I coached.
Yeah.
And I think it's time for me to go my own, isn't it? I think it's about time for me to go my own. So I have some projects that coming out of the paper right now, and hopefully after summer I'm going to be able to share with you guys with more concrete plan. But yeah, my goal is to be on my own now, Sparsha, and maybe having my own place and bringing my friends together. You know, I mean,
Inshallah.
I don't think, inshallah. It's not about money anymore. You know, it's about the lifestyle we always wanted. You know, I don't want to be. It's not that I don't want to be working for someone else. Not that. I think I've done my
due diligence.
Exactly. So it's about time for me to move on a different direction and focus on myself and my close friends and the fighters and coaches that I worked with during this period and get together and open our own place. Yeah. That's pretty
looking
much
forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
All right, before we move on to our final
excited.
segment, I mean, you should be. So are we. All right. So before we move on to the next segment, there's one thing I want to tell you, which I don't think I've ever told you before, Alex. 2 years ago, when I decided that I wanted to do Muay Thai, and I found well fit, and I came into the gym, came into the MMA area, completely lost, walking around like a headless chicken, not knowing what's going on. I still remember you came up to me, you introduced yourself, you introduced the community, and I remember feeling at ease. And there was this voice in my head that just told me, you found the right coach. He will teach you everything that you need to know. You will be taken care of. So I just want you to know, Alex, you have had such a big impact in my life by just being such an amazing coach and friend. And Muay Thai has changed my life so much. Some of my closest friends in Dubai are from the kickboxing Muay Thai community. So I just want to say thank you. And I hope you know, the lives you have impacted, and don't stop what you're doing.
Yeah, I get emotional. Listen, I mean, we never know, isn't it? You never know actually the what actually is. I mean, it comes out of this, someone telling you, I know that not about impact or whatever. That's my way to do it, things, isn't it? I mean, I try to be as cool as I can in class and in the environment I work, to bring people like you closer to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. It goes both ways. I don't think I could never done what I did if I didn't have a nice group of students understanding my ways and accept me the way I am. I know I'm very weird when it comes to teaching and what I do.
No, you're great.
Inside and outside of the mat or the dojo. But yeah, I'm very thankful for what you just said, for your words. And I mean, as I said, I don't know much about what I've done, how I affected people, unless they come to me and say it. I'm not after compliments. I'm not after, I don't mean anything. I just want you guys to be happy in what you do, and what I can see when you guys evolve and progress. That's more than enough for me. And when it becomes like this, we became friends, and something that's going to last forever in our lives. And that's the real achievement.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks again.
I don't need you to be a world champion. I just want you to be cool in what you do and keep the interest in learning martial arts. That's what's really important for me.
So thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, now we're moving on to the best segment of the podcast. Alex, can you show us 2 self-defense moves that you think any girl can learn? And
easily,
it'll be handy for them.
Sure, but can I throw around here?
Yeah, you can throw me around.
All right, first one is a headlock with control, as I say, right? So imagine I come to you.
Okay.
Hold you like this.
Okay.
Cool. Right, so you're holding like this. Let me show what it is.
Just coming back.
Headlock is that. The first thing I should be worried about, isn't it?
Yeah.
You choking me, it's not a deal. So I'm gonna hold inside.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just bring my hip and my knees close to you. A bad stance.
Okay.
All right. Imagine if you open this now to punch me with your left hand.
Okay.
And block, because it's gonna rotate my chin outside.
Okay.
And wiggle behind.
Okay.
This is a way you can conduct to try to escape. If I bring up, I can take it when out towards. Walk with me. Isn't it? Yeah. Understand? So here we go. Can you grab me?
Sure.
First, you have to protect the choke with your arm inside. If you stay like this, if you don't punch at all, yes, I'm protect. But if you open to punch, I control one, two. If I get, I need to bring this hand now behind you.
Okay.
Cool. So I'm just gonna pop my neck out and bring it behind. I can let this one go. Okay. What I like to do is neck control and just bring this one more. Okay. This is a conduction. I can take you with this, I can take you anywhere I want. Go, please keep up. Stop walking. Can you stop walking now if I tell you to walk? Walk. Yeah, that's right. All right. The second one is a round choke. Strangle. So you come to me, talking to me, I hate you. Okay. The man is there, the girl. This is a bit harder though, because it involves throwing them over your shoulder, right? Okay. Of course, if the guy is too heavy, not gonna do that, gonna do something else. Let me show you this one. So you come to strangle. Okay. There's two ways, right? There's 4 fingers here. Yeah. There's 1 finger here. Should I break this way? No, 4 fingers. So I always break to one side only. Hook. Maybe one-on-one, you won't be able. If I split the energy, maybe stronger than me. So my left arm won't be able to break the right arm. Okay. So I go 2 against 1. 2 against 1. Control. Okay. Over the top. Okay. Step deep. Okay. Turn behind. That was a bit there. That's an easy one to be honest. I'm gonna show you a little bit more detail real quick. So go again. Okay. Strangle. 2 against 1. Strong base. Boom. Break it. Control. Okay. Over the top as we step. I can connect behind the armpit. I can just locking the neck. I need to turn my back to you with the back leg. Boom. And now Sparsh is about squatting. I squat. I just need to pick you up. That's all. Okay. If I want to throw you, I'm gonna rotate my shoulder to my thumb. You can throw me. To my thumb and to my toe.
Wow, there you go, guys. 2 amazing moves that you can hopefully learn.
100%.
But Alex, thank you so much. It was a fun episode.
Really appreciate
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, that's it for today's episode, guys. I hope you really enjoyed that session with Alex and you were able to learn a little bit more about martial arts. I really hope more of you would sign up for it. Try giving it a shot. Just try one of the free sessions. Go for a kickboxing class or Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, Judo. Just give any of it a shot and I guarantee you won't regret it. I mean, you will be dead by the end of it, but it'll be followed by a really, really great sense of achievement. You will enjoy it, I promise you that. And if you think group settings are not for you, you prefer something more personal, PT sessions are also available. I've mentioned Alex's details below. You can always hit him up. He'll be more than happy to guide you on this new journey. So I'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. Until then, like I always say, keep smashing it, keep growing, and relentlessly chase your dreams. Thank you.